Hey everyone, a couple of days back the CAT 2023 results came out. I have been getting several messages by aspirants telling me their scores and asking me whether they should be repeating CAT next year, whether they can expect certain calls from IIM A, B, C and several other colleges, and naturally expressing disappointment at their results. So I just thought of creating this video to share with you all my experiences because I have been in the same boat for several times in my life. In fact, I wrote CAT 5 times to be precise, and it was only in CAT 2022 that I got my desired percentile and I got interview calls from all the IIMs. With this video, I would like to share a few messages with all of you. First of all, I would like to tell you that you need to give yourself a pat on your back. I mean, whatever percentile you have scored this year, given your circumstances, given your unique challenges, this is something really commendable and you need to pat yourself for that. Trust me, no matter what percentile you get, even if it's a 99.99, you'll always be dissatisfied. You'll always be discontent because you'd be like, had I got 0.01 more, I would have had 100. So that dissatisfaction never stops, whether it's an 80th percentile or a 98th percentile or even a 99.98 percentile, right? So firstly, get that out of your head. Now, secondly, understanding that percentiles do play a role and on their absolute value, I would like to tell you something. First of all, don't discount your calls already because it's just the result that's out, right? And I'm sure that in the next 2 to 3 weeks, you will start receiving calls from all the IIMs. IIM Ahmedabad will start, then IIM Bangalore, IIM Calcutta, IIM Indore, Kozhikode, Lucknow, all the other colleges, they'll start rolling out their calls. And when I got my percentile last year, I was personally extremely nervous that I'll probably not get calls from IIM A or B. At best, I'll get from IIM Calcutta. But calls have a weird way of surprising you, right? And it's just a matter of 2 weeks, 3 weeks at most. So, when you've waited for a year just to write your CAT and to see your percentile, it's just a matter of few more weeks. So step number 1, don't discount your chances already. Because, if you discount it already and you get a call, you won't be in the right state to accept that call, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is, for example, even if you wait for the next 2 to 3 weeks and suppose you don't get the calls that you had wanted. For example, I was particularly fixated on IIM ABC. I did not want to go to IIM Lucknow or Kozhikode or Indore, right? So what would I do in such a situation if I were in your place? See, if I were in your place, first thing I would tell myself is, I would anyway do the interview preparation. I would anyway sit for whatever interviews I am getting. Choosing those colleges or not at a later time is always my decision. But the very fact that, if I attempt these interviews with utmost sincerity, I'll lay a very strong foundation for my interviews next year when I get my desired calls. And then there is no chance that I'm going to miss cracking those interviews, right? So this year, when you wait for the results to come out, the interview invites to come out, and you get invites from whatever colleges, sit for their interviews. Personally, in the last 5 years, I've sat for the CAP interviews. IIM Shillong, SP Chen, IIM Lucknow, Sustainability, has sat for N number of interviews. IIFT, TIS, colleges that I had absolutely not wanted to go for. Why? Because I knew that somewhere down the line, I'll get IIM ABC calls. And once I get those calls, I cannot screw them up at all. Right? So your interview preparation has to be solid. See, the other reason why I'm telling this is because, you will start preparing for CAT otherwise, right? You will think to yourself that, I'm motivated, I'm super motivated. I need to crack CAT 2024 at any cost, right? So you will have that burning enthusiasm within you right now. Even I had that. But to sustain that for over a year is extremely difficult. What you have right now, that raw passion, that raw fire in your belly, it will fade out, it will die down in the next 3 to 4 months. And this fight is not for 3 to 4 months, this fight is for the next 11 months, right? So, do you think you have it in you to sustain the same fury for the next 11 months? Or is it even required? I don't think it is. So, a much better way to spend your coming year is to rather do the interview practice for the next 3 to 4 months and then start preparing for CAT in April, in May, so that you will get in the groove by the time November comes, right? That way you will make the perfect utilization of interview practice of your CAT time, right? Okay, so that was the second message, that whatever calls you get, give them with utmost sincerity, give their interviews with sincerity. No one is forcing you to choose a college. Now the third and the most important thing, right, which I think is essential for everybody who is listening to me, everybody who's watching this video. The next 1 year does not solely have to be on CAT and interview preparation. And the reason I say this is that a lot of you, including myself on several occasions previously, will spend this 1 year doing absolutely nothing else, right? You would be like, I want to do CAT with 100% focus, with 100% attention. But you know what will happen? When you will come to November next year, when you start sitting for the interviews, you'll realize that, your profile is just the very same that it was 1 year ago. There is no significant improvement in your profile. And much worse than that, a couple of weeks before the exam, you'll start building up that pressure in your head. Here, I haven't done anything in the last 1 year. What if I fail in the CAT again? And if I fail in the CAT again, shit, I'm still at the same place where I was 12 months ago, right? So what I would suggest and what I have learned is that if you have a job, if you're already working, appear for your job promotions, your job hikes, your job assignments with utmost sincerity. Make sure that you get that goddamn hike, make sure you get that goddamn promotion, right? Make sure you excel in your job, right? You have to keep your job as a priority if you're working. If you're not working, you might want to try out other things like CFA, like GMAT, like anything which boosts your profile, life project, internships. See, because cracking CAT, cracking interviews is just one step in the longer scheme of things. Once you enter the B school, you will have summer internships. Before you even realize, right? Summer internships start in August-ish, right? So you enter school in June, 2 months into the school, and you'll have your summer internships. So you need a very solid profile for that, right? Cracking CAT and getting into a school is not the end of the journey. So you need to write CFA, you need to write GMAT, you need to have certifications in your domain of interest. You need to boost your profile. The other thing which this does is that it takes your focus away from one thing. It's not a do or die. CAT doesn't become a do or die. You start building alternatives in your life that, okay, if CAT doesn't work out, I'll do something else. I am making progress in my life. So that's what I did, right? I was working with L&T. I made sure that I remained committed to my work. I got 3 promotions in 42 months, like 3 fast track promotions. So I made sure that I did justice to my work, and I did more than justice. Secondly, what I did was I wrote GMAT. I scored 740 on the GMAT. I applied to B schools outside. I got admission from NUS Singapore, right? So I knew that, and all of this happened before CAT. So I knew that, for whatever reason CAT doesn't work out, I know it's unpredictable, I know I'm going to give my best, but for whatever reason it doesn't work out, I have something to fall back onto, right? I have my NUS Singapore admission that I can always go back to. I have a kick-ass job where I'm working, as a senior consultant or a consulting specialist in my most recent position that I can always go back to, right? So start having alternatives in your life. I know friends who did CFA, I know friends who did FRM, I know friends who did life projects, I know friends who did, internships in VC, in consulting, in finance, and so on and so forth. So start building up your profile in the next 1 year if you are planning for a repeat, because 12 months down the line, if you haven't made any progress on any other front, you will start having a lot of insecurities, and they'll start eating you up. So you don't want to be in that position, right? So I think that's probably everything that I wanted to share with you in this video. And I understand, that this is a very difficult time. People are questioning their interview calls. People are questioning, comparing themselves with their friends and so on. So I would say that sit back, relax, absorb whatever you have got on your plate. Make calculative next steps, and if there is anything that you want my advice on, I'll be very happy to guide you, and please feel free to shoot that in the comments. Thank you.